Okay, so I just watched a movie on Netflix, and the name of the movie is called I Care a Lot. And this movie was really good, and it struck a memory I had a few years back when I was living in Atlanta, Georgia. I was working at a nursing home, and this old lady was screaming, and I was purer then, like really nice and naive. So the lady kept screaming, and I went to her room, and I was like, "What's wrong with you?" And the lady just kept screaming. She wouldn't make eye contact. She was just uh, pretending to be out of it. So one day I went in there and I just sit there and I just talked to her. I said, "Are you gonna be okay?" Just being my pure innocent self. And the lady started talking to me like she had good sense, and it kind of scared me. And I was like, "Wow, people teach you stuff and it changes the person that you are." You know what I'm saying? So now I kind of like don't trust nobody with a lot of things now because of what I've been through. But watching this movie and think about it triggered a memory of this lady. She was screaming, and then she told me the story that her daughter had her put in the nursing home, had taken her house, and she was basically trying to act, ugly, and because it was a nursing home, she was trying to act ugly so that they could put her out. You know what I'm saying? She was trying to annoy everybody so they could say, "Look, we're not going to take care of this lady." And I told her, what you're actually doing, you're making them think that you really do belong here. You're doing the opposite of what you're trying to do. You are trying to get out of here. They're just going to sedate you, give you more medication, and keep you here. And after I talked to her, she stopped screaming. But I can't remember how long she stayed there, but she was still there for a long time. But her family members did this lady so dirty. So in this movie, the lady who owns the nursing home is doing the dirt. And it just made me think, like, how many of those people that's actually in there in real life are there because, not because they need to leave their home, but because a family member decided, "I want all of your stuff. I'm stealing from you. This is mine now. I earned it." I heard something about that lady that played on Star Trek, the black lady. She was the only black lady on TV at that time. And once she got older, her son became her caregiver. And his life never amounted to anything. So what he did, he moved her to like a nursing home in Mexico where she could be away from her Hollywood friends. And he took all of her money and finance and everything. And there was nothing nobody could do about it because he had, what do you call that? When you were protected, the guardian. He had the guardianship. And that's so scary too. Like, when you get older, you don't know if your family member is going to be the one who tries to steal your stuff, or if you're going to get a nice person that's going to take care of you and have your best interest at heart. So I was going to school back in 2017, and it's an old lady. She lived down the street from me now, and she's like probably 80 years old, but she stayed in the house by herself. I never stopped. I thought about it, but I was like, I didn't want her to get dependent on me. But sometime I would see like people there. I think they probably was family and friends. But she would always sit on the front porch early in the morning. I was going to school like 7, 8 o'clock. She'd be on the front porch unless it was cold. And so I always be looking out for her. And I didn't know her, but I just, how you get somebody's routine? Like, I'm going to work and she's sitting on the front porch. Or I'm going somewhere, I'll see her light on. And she's very old. And then sometimes I'll see like a care nurse when I'm passing by. I'll see a care nurse in the yard or something like that. And I was like, either church member or somebody would check on her. She was not alone. totally alone all the time. But I think she lived alone. But it's just think like so many people don't have people in their life they can trust. And this lady had an older house. Had it probably been a newer house, somebody probably would have tried to, steal it, sell it, get what they can get out of it. And it's a shame how people treat human beings for money. It's like not. It's not like you're gonna get old, and that karma is gonna come back to you. But if you watch this movie, it's called I Care a Lot. And what happens to this lady in the end, I'm glad it happened to her. It should have happened sooner. But yeah, so many people just do dirt to people. And it was another situation. It was an older lady, and she wanted to go home. And what I used to do, I used to sit with people, I consider, and they paid me like 300 a week or something like that just to sit. And that was a good job, except like when I work at night. And then I did fall asleep. And the lady was saying, I was calling you, I was calling you. And I was like, oh, why was she calling me in the middle of the night? But I'm supposed to be working, right? So that situation didn't work out for me. But I'm thinking, these people can't go to the bathroom by themselves. You know what I'm saying? When you get so old, your arthritis kick in. It's like your mind still works, but your body betrays you basically. And you never know what stage you're gonna go through. Sometimes you might get old and die, have a heart attack and just die, or you might get old and your mind still knows everything. You can still talk, but your body can't function, and that happens to certain people. Or in this situation, somebody could try to steal from you in your old age. You become vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many situations that make you think, and it's scary too because we're all going to get old one day, and you never know. And you always think they always have trays of medication to give these people. Like some of these people, do they really need the medication? Do they really need to be drugged up? And you always see people. Sometimes you'll hear people screaming and fighting and just trying, and and you believe, they crazy, or that. But some of them aren't crazy. They're really upset because of what's happening to them in their life. And you just think about, dang, how many people really weren't cuckoo, but they were really getting taken advantage of. And it's really upsetting. But yeah, watch the movie and tell me what you think.